Hi, I'm Barkanine. Somebody call a plumber because there's been a big leak going on at Nintendo. Allegedly, some new sprites from the source code for the Game Freak Space World 1999 demo have been leaked. Dr. Lava's Lost Pokemon initially shared the new sprites on Twitter, but they have since been taken down. We don't know where the leaks are from, and I am not the leaker. So one of those Pokemon was this little guy, which was actually an early version of Wooper. The hair on its head looks a bit like Ted from Scrubs, but as we know, this Wooper turned into this aerial head, cuter version. I think it was a good change they made in the end. Check out this guy. This Pokemon, I don't think is anything we've ever seen before. It definitely hasn't been released in later generations, that I can tell. It does have a really cool design, and it's a shame that it never made it into the game. If I was to name this Pokemon, I would call it Bonesaw, after this guy from Spider-Man. Or, you know, Bone Saw, Dinosaur. There was also Slugma in the leak. This early version of Slugma looks like more like Gary from SpongeBob, but as we know, after the game was finally released, they gave, I think, a good upgrade to the design of Slugma. It looks pretty cool as it is, and no regrets there. Next on the leak list was this incredible wolf Pokemon. I want it so bad to be in a future generation of Pokemon. Looks awesome. There is quite a lot of folklore and mythology behind wolves in Japan, and potentially one of those such wolves could be the Amaterasu or Shiranui wolf. Keep calm, look, I'm not an expert on Japan. This Pichu sprite leaked. Look how they massacred my boy. But in the silver version, there wasn't actually the Pichu we all know and love, and that was the sprite that they opted to go for universally for Pichu. Check out this little guy. Recognize him yet? Well, here's a little tiny clue. Yeah, it's Apom. This Apom looks a bit more mischievous. You can't really see what his face is doing. The end result that they went for was this Apom. Apom's not really a Pokemon that I like, but they did a good job on design, considering. This sprite was leaked, and initially I thought it was a Sneasel, but that was probably not true. So it looked more like a Pied Piper. It wouldn't be the first time that Pokemon have created things that steal children. I mean, it's kind of creepy. Raikou sprite was leaked. They're a bit different actually if you take a close look. Got this crinkled face effect. Can't really tell what's going on there, but the revised sprite upon release, I think we can agree, looked much better. Much nicer, rounder face. If you disagree, Captain Falcon is riding Raikou. Your argument is invalid. A Celebi sprite was leaked, and it looked very different. It looked more like E.T. with smushed face, that brown colour. I don't know where that came from, but as we know, the Celebi that many people love and adore did appear in the final games as an event Pokemon, I believe, with a greenish colour and actually some additional wings and antennas. So big changes happened to Celebi during the production stages. I think they were for the best. It's a popular Pokemon. This guy, when I saw this I was like, what the hell is Totoro doing in a Pokemon game? But then, you know, I came to my senses, and it was actually an early sprite of Azumarill. I really like the changes they ended up making to Azumarill, especially getting that water typing in. This is Pac-Man? No, not really. This is actually an early design of Sunkern, and you can see they've used the sapling seed sprouting imagery there. They changed it up to become the Sunkern. I think lots of people like. Did you actually know that Sunkern has the worst base stats in all of Pokemon to date? That's madness. I didn't know that. Another sprite that was revealed was an early Teddiursa. This thing is so cute. I mean, I want one. If you look closely, It's, you know what, I can't look at it too long without feeling just gushy. Really cute. So the final teddy bear changed up a bit more teddy bear like. Got that cute paw sucking. I can't decide which one I like, okay? This little sea snaky, two variations, neither of which made the final cut. Can you guess what it is? Let me give you a clue. I don't think anyone really likes the way Dance Pass looks. I'm sure there's people who do, but you can deal with it. Because this Dance Pass is what we got. Now, this thing looks kind of adorable, and I was like, come here, it's a little squishy, but it was actually a dark type Pokemon. It does look a bit like an early version of Mienshao, but it is not. It was actually the early design of Sneasel, as you can tell by the claws on his hand. Big changes. Yeah, I was thinking like, what the fuck happened to you, Sneasel? But you know, after a bit of reconsideration, I think Sneasel does look kind of cute. So I'll let you off for Game Freak. The next leak was a controversial one. Now, people have already started fanboying, fangirling over this early design of Kingdra. And it does look okay. It just looks a bit too similar, I think, to Seadra. And people have really turned on Kingdra. There's been some violent incidents. But hey, I actually think there's a better design with the Kingdra that we received in the end. Now this guy is definitely wearing a bear hat. I was confused as to what the hell this was supposed to be. It's a Teddy Ursa wannabe, but it was actually something very different. This is Tyro. I actually have criticisms over the overall final design of Tyro. I think it looks a bit too Machop-esque, but maybe this previous design would have been more interesting, unique. In the end, the Tyro you see on the left is the one that we got, so no complaining. Game Freak knows what they're doing more than I do, but I would have liked to see some teddy bear hats in the real thing. This thing, I thought it was like a Moomin, if you've ever seen Moomins. At first, it's just got that like round blob head and a single eye. Not a very good drawing, to say the least. But it must have been a very, very early version, because the final version of this was actually Wobbuffet. And as you can tell, Wobbuffet is like nothing else in Pokemon. And you know, we can't complain. This was a demo version of Gold and Silver, so all of the designs, of course, they were not complete. And I think they did a fantastic job to turn that white blob, into what is quite a beloved Pokemon in Wobbuffet. So, which beta sprites did you like? Let me know in the comments, because there's bound to be one or two that you have enjoyed in this list and you perhaps would have preferred to see in the games. Please do subscribe to the channel for all kinds of Pokemon content. I'm really ramping up my production at the moment, so please do join in if you would like to see some more of this stuff. Alright, bye for now.